fatal mode, cyber thief, secrets on the road, virtual threat, keystroke kill, identity hidden I fulfill, cyber assassin, that's my prowl, codes in hand, you'll fall, hack and strike, chaos I make, cyber realm, my domain to take.
So while on this hike here, I'm really getting a sense of metaphor. In life, as in pretty much any circumstance that we live through or in or by, you're provided with the opportunity to look at things in either a literal fashion or you have the opportunity to see it in a metaphorical fashion. And currently, I'm viewing this situation right now in a very metaphorical stance. I've walked down this path here that was well made and provided, and you walk on through. And it came to what seemed to be a natural end. And poof, it gives you another opening, another path. And once you get through this little choke point that seemed to be a boundary, seemed to be an area where it's just a stop point, it actually seemed to turn into nature. It seemed to go into rough country again. But just on the other side of what seemed to be a natural barrier, there's more path. There's more to see. There's more to traverse. And it's bare. It's, on both sides, you've got over here an open pit mine and lots of activity, and then on this side you've got kind of a swamp, and then you've got this kind of set aside, obviously created by man area is just abandoned in a sense, unused by anyone. It is indeed not just the path less traveled, but a path untraveled is what it seems to me. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm feeling this metaphor because it does feel this way currently in life. I don't know if it's just for me. I feel a lot of times that when I'm going through these introspective thoughts and feelings, that it isn't just me going through it. It's actually a reflection of the larger collective body of humanity. Look at this truck just spraying water out there to legally dampen the dust. You got to keep those piles wet. That's legal. They don't want to disperse contaminated dirt. It has valley fever and mold spores and all this stuff, so they got to dampen it so it doesn't go everywhere. And it also for compaction, right? So they're building a highway entrance, a pathway from Silver Bell over to I-10. So there's a connection being made, a connection being built to get from one place to another, right? So they've been working on it for a long time, but they're getting there. It's getting there. And, this rough situation, this rough land, this forgotten zone will become habitated. People will be walking through this area where I am, where it never has been traversed before. Nobody comes through here, but they will be soon. And I feel like I'm trailblazing a little bit in an area that will be widely traveled. It just isn't yet. I'm like the first through here to see it before it's developed, before it's fully traversable, and that's an interesting, again, metaphorical stance to look at where I am in life as well. I feel that through the shadow work and the introspection that I've been diving into and putting myself through intentionally, willfully, and creatively, I've set myself on a path that I'm not only apart from the majority of humanity and my thoughts and my perspective, my emotional reactions are just not common. I feel apart, not separate. I feel in front. I feel that I just am first, or a part of the trailblazing people who are creating the way, a new perspective, a new way of seeing and being, where, it isn't black and white, red or blue, right or wrong, good or evil. I think this is something that us as humans, we have to overcome. It is a control mechanism that keeps us basically in 2 categories instead of 100, where we could be unbound, we are willfully bound and kept by relating ourselves to these categories. It keeps us small. It keeps us controlled. And I don't live by those rules. I don't need to be a part of the group or any structure to feel okay with being myself. I don't need to be accepted by anyone. I mean, a lot of us live our lives behaviorally in the need of attention. We need to be accepted, and we need to be accepted. We need to feel validated, as if other people's opinions are what we're seeking. We're seeking to be thought well of and accepted, right? We want to get along. We want to do the right thing. And the right thing, a lot of times, is gauged upon how well we are accepted. We say the right things, we behave the right way, we follow the same rules, and that keeps us in a state of other people are reciprocative to us. They accept us. And through gaining that acceptance, we feel that we are good and happy, and that life is purposeful, meaningful. Like that acceptance is what validates our being. But does it? I mean, I get that energy, giving, taking, receiving energy is a huge part of being a human, being accepted, being loved, being basically found to be worthy of acceptance and feeling accepted is huge. And I can't say that it never was. I mean, I had my times in life where I strived to be accepted, but I never could bend myself enough out of the shape of how I feel that I truly am to actually reach that state, because it felt like that to me. It felt like I'm unnaturally twisting myself to assimilate, to fit. And I can't, I couldn't, I won't. And in my older years, I gave up entirely. I just accept that I can, will, and do reciprocate myself. I get my energy from the earth, from the sun, from nature, but mostly it's an inner thing. It's something within myself that sustains me, that provides me with what I need. There's more coyotes. It brings me what I need just from being myself. I can make myself happy by providing myself the right foods, the right thoughts, and the right experiences to bring about the happiness that I want. I don't need to seek it externally from other people. I don't need to be accepted by other people. And I gotta say, I learned this from not being accepted. It was not something that I sought to find. It's something that I found through necessity. Because when you're not accepted, you do finally reach a point where you find your ability to be happy, to be okay with just being and not trying to be. Because it does, like I said, shape you outside of what you truly are. It does bend you in ways that are unnatural in your seeking to be accepted. You can find that you are twisting your reality in unnatural ways. So I'm now in the pit where I'm not supposed to be, right? I found my way in here by way of finding paths that led me naturally to this. I didn't cross a boundary or any crazy thing. Look at that. Woo. I didn't go outside of any crazy way to get here. But there's a big pond, water, and a cliff here. There's a coyote in these bushes, probably with pups. She was peeking around the corner at me when I was coming around. I'm certainly not going to bother her because she may become aggressive, go after me, go after my dog, whatever. And we're not going to push her. Again, I'm in this area trailblazing of a natural conclusion of just walking a path that ended up here that nobody ever walks through, but it naturally brought me to where I was trying to go. I was trying to get to this pit, and I got in here by way of a natural path that I was walking, brought me right where I was trying to go in a spot where nobody can see me. Just like I was trying to do, you know? I set the intent to get here. And by just walking a path that I didn't know where it was taking me, it's where I landed. It's where I ended up. I ended where I wanted to be, of natural consequence of just keep going. I just kept walking the path. I didn't know where it was taking me. I knew where I wanted to go. I knew my ultimate goal. But I had absolutely no idea that just walking this path here would actually take me exactly to the place I was attempting to go. And in a way that I wasn't breaking the rules, because the path took me here. I didn't jump into an area where I wasn't supposed to be. It wasn't marked, don't go in here or anything, which is another metaphor, right? And as long as you have your intentions and your will set and you know where you're going and what you want to achieve, and you can clearly set that forth into your desire, as long as you keep going, you're typically going to land exactly where you're trying to go. You don't need to know how. You just need to keep going.